Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to A Gentleman's Life. Sam here, and just want to welcome you back. It's been a little while, about a week since my last video. Been really busy. Finishing up last week of class and everything. Trying to work, of course, as well. So been a busy time, but back today. It is kind of a dreary, gray, and windy day outside today in Germany. It's about dinner time, or an hour or two from dinner time. Just enjoying the last daylight hours before I have to go to work. And today I am wearing my Christopher Ward, the Trident GMT. So enjoying that. That'll be my work watch for the next couple days. And I'll have a review on that one coming up pretty soon. Probably by the end of the week, hopefully. Got my lovely tea here today. Still a little hot. And I also wanted to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you've enjoyed the videos you've seen so far and continue to enjoy the ones coming out. If you have any requests or anything you'd like to see, please send me an email and I'll see what I can do about that. Kind of add it to the queue of my videos, which I've got quite the list, but I'm also trying to branch out a little more besides just watches. I've done a couple cycling videos. I have a video coming up in the next week or so. Also, I'm going to review the Core Trackline belt, which I actually quite like. The company was nice enough to send a sample for me, and I quite like it because I've been really annoyed with other belts. But I'll save all the information about that and talking about that for another review. Today is another watch review because I have more of those on my list than anything else to get out right now. So without further ado, let's go on to that. And the watch I'm reviewing today is my final Steinhart review, and that is the Steinhart Nav-B Premium. This one is the 44 millimeter hand wind version. So that is what I will be reviewing today. And without further ado, let's go into first person mode. Alright, so here we are, everyone, with the Steinhart Nav-B Premium. This is the 44 millimeter version with the hand wind ST1 movement. So the ST1 is was really Steinhart's first attempt at modifying and decorating movements. In this case, it was a modified and decorated Unitas 6497. So you can see the modified movement in the back. We'll get on to more of that later. As mentioned, this is a 44 millimeters across, which is a rather large watch for those of us who are skinny-wristed. And it is, as you can see, based off of the pilot watches from the World War II German Air Force and that design, which originally came from companies such as Laco, Stoa, etc. The Unitas movement, it is a 17 joule hand wind movement. It runs at 18,000 beats per hour, so it runs slower than many of your automatic movements. As mentioned, Steinhart did do some modifications, which I will get into a little bit. Let me pull that out. We'll get a better view, specifically a view of the back when I do close-ups. As you can see, it's a really pretty movement. Some of the changes, they did a 3/4 bridge, so that's the large plate that covers the whole the back is the 3/4 bridge. It covers 3/4 of the space. They did that radialized striping, which I think looks really cool coming out from the wheel. And then the swan neck that they put in there as well, along with the skeletonized rotors. And then, some perlage as well, some decoration. So it's really their first attempt at modifying a movement for themselves. And a lot of the modifications are for decoration purposes, to be honest. But it's a really pretty movement, and to me that's modifying and decorating movements yourself is kind of that step up from your average, micro brand run-of-the-mill. So many micro brands today just use your standard Salida, standard Etta, or even in most cases, the Miyota or Seiko movements. So seeing one that's doing some decoration modifications themselves and trying to build their own brand over time is nice. Obviously, Steinhart has a long way to go in that regard, but it's nice to see that happening. Going on, looking back at the front of the watch, as you can see, you have the standard kind of pilot watch style with your numbers going around, with the exception of the 12 o'clock where you have the arrow. The other difference from a true to historical perspective pilot watch is you do have the small seconds hand at the 9 o'clock position. However, in this case, I quite like it because of the detailing they did with the small seconds hand, which you'll see better in the close-ups, but it's really kind of a guilloche circular pattern for the sub-dial. I don't know if you can really... Yeah, the phone is not going to focus on it right now. I'll show it off when I go into the macro view. And you see the nice detailing there. Also, this is a sandwich dial, so the ticker for each of the 5 minutes, at every 5 minutes there's that ticker. That is actually a layer below the black portion of the dial, as is all of the number hour markers and the 12 o'clock arrow symbol. Those are all on a different depth level compared to the rest of the watch, as is the sub dial, and that kind of little detailing I quite like. The lume on this is Super Luminova. It is the BGW9, so it's not the strongest, but it does the job well enough. Has a nice color because of that, using that lume when it does glow, which is really nice. And then you do have the blued hands. They're not heat blued, which is a little disappointing, especially for the premium variant, but the heat bluing does cost more, so it's understandable that they're not heat blued. As mentioned, along with the 44 millimeters, it's not super thick, but it's reasonably thick at just over 14 millimeters in height. You can see it's dressed up compared to your standard one. You've got the nice polished bezel to go along with the kind of polished off crown, and then the brushing on the rest of the case, which is really nice and contrasts really well. The lugs are 22 millimeters across. In this case, I have it on actually a Christopher Ward alligator strap with the batter buckle. Let me put that back together really quick, and I'll show you that. Steinhart generally makes bigger watches, so most of their customers are not skinny people like myself. So even when they do have a small strap, it doesn't actually fit myself. The Christopher Ward alligator strap fits really nicely, and the batter buckle, as you can see here, you put it through the nipple right there, and then as you fold it over, you are left with just that clasp. So that works really nice. So that was just the strap I found worked best for this for the moment, so that's what I'm using at the moment. But overall, really well done. Good quality, long-standing, robust movement with some, modifications and decoration, which is good to see. So we'll see if Steinhart keeps up with that. And then just overall well-designed and well-detailed design for me. You can see the crown is nicely done, and it has a good crown action to it. There's no play or wiggle in the crown at all, so it's yeah, really nicely done. So let's go to the macro view, and we'll have a closer look at the watch. Alright, here we are, everyone. Back with the watch, and you can see here the quality of the printing for in between the second marks, or the minute marks. And then if I tilt it a little bit, let me undo the buckle really quick again so it's easier to manipulate. Alright, so as you can see here now, as I had mentioned, you also have that nice sandwich, and everything that's sandwiched is what's loomed. So the loom is for every 5 minutes with that sandwich portion along with the numbers. Let me wipe it down a little bit here. So you can see that nice matte finish to the dial, and nice sandwich effect there. There's the logo. You can see really nicely printed on the dial there. Nice contrast to the matte face. See, it's got a really nice, that sandwich look is actually really, really nice. And the blued hands, really nicely done. And the minute hand. Second subdial. So that's what I was talking about. The second subdial, you have that really nice detailing of the second dial with the guillotine circular pattern, and then the ticks every 5 seconds going around. And then the outer section is loomed in white with the back portion in blue. The counterweight part in blue. Really well done. Really like that. Here you can see the polished bezel, polished so much as having trouble focusing, along with then the nice brushing. It's horizontal brushing there on the top of the case and the lugs, along with on the side of the case. You also have that nice, along with my fingerprints, you have the nice horizontal brushing as well. So really nicely done there. Alright, let's take a look at the crown. So you can see here with the crown, as mentioned, really nice. The grip on that is really nice. Well done. Oh, you can see I got a little scratch there. Ignore the scratch on the bezel. My clumsy self. Let's go to the back and have a look at that. Put that down too, as best I can. Alright, so around the outer portion here, you can see nicely engraved, Swiss made by Steinhart, stainless steel. It is sapphire crystal, and the water rating. And on the other side here we have the model, Nav-B Premium, and what they call the Caliber ST1 Premium, 17 joules, which is their name for their modified Unitas. And let's look at the movement itself. So here you can see the ratchet wheel. They have skeletonized with the Steinhart S and the blued screw in the middle. Do it this way. The light's kind of bad in the gray weather today. Sorry, guys. Here you can go. You can kind of see that skeletonized wheel along with the perlage. Come on, underneath. Here we are. And another wheel with a nice little detail in the center there. And you can see the big quarter plate with its nice striping. And you can see how as the wheel turns, the striping almost looks like it's coming out from the wheel. Really nice with the blued screws there as well. You can see the filled in. Here we are. You can see filled in there Steinhart timepieces and Swiss made 17 jewels. Here you can see it at work. You can see the perlage underneath as well. And there you can see their swan neck that they built and installed as well. Nicely beveled, it looks like. And it looks like they've done some hand beveling as well on the movement, which is really nice to see as a detail. Yeah, you can see on the plate, on the edge of the plate, how it's nicely beveled there. So that's nice to see. So that is Steinhart Nav-B Premium. So that's my review of the Steinhart Nav-B. Some final thoughts. Also wrist shot. So here's what it looks like on the wrist. You can see it fits reasonably well, even at 44 millimeters. Looks pretty decent. Not too big. I mean, that style of watch is meant to be large, so I think it fits reasonably well for that. I mean, not too huge. I like just has like a classy, nice look to it. So my thoughts. I mean, it is a homage to, the pilot watches of the World War II era. Steinhart, of course, was not a company back then, but there weren't many that were. There were 5 total. Stowa was restarted, so they stopped producing and restarted again, but went back to their roots and produced that style of watch, although smaller than this. So if you have a smaller wrist and you feel this is too big, Stowa might be a decent option. Laco makes very much original styled ones, and they were one of the companies that made them back then as well, amongst a few others. But the others are generally quite expensive. This is Steinhart's most expensive watch of this pilot style, and it's only kind of at the baseline for all the others as far as prices go. This premium model will run you about just under 1,000 euros if you are in the EU. If you are not in the EU and don't have to pay European VAT tax, it will run you a little over 800 euros. So you're looking at about $900. Compared, the $400 or $500, I believe, for the not premium variant with your either ETA 2824 or a little bit more for the standard Unitas movement. But this has those extra details. You have the subdial with the guilloche pattern that is recessed from the main dial on this one. You don't get on the rest. You have the sandwich dial, which you don't get on all the other versions. You don't get the sandwich dial. You don't get the modified and decorated movement here. So there are parts to this that make sense for the upgrade cost. This, to be honest, is about the most I could ever justify paying for Steinhart with where their brand is now. I find the cost of this to be still reasonable or worth what it is. I wouldn't call this one a bargain like you might consider, some people might consider some other Steinhart watches. I think this you pay what you get for, or you pay for what you get. It's at this point you can also get your Laco, which is your more vintage original styled version of the watch for about the same price. You can get Stoa, which is an original company and makes a smaller variation now for about the same price. And then Steinhart has their premium model, and those are all within that price range. This was my preference based on just stylistically, I liked this better. But just some things to consider when looking at buying this watch. Overall, I don't feel like I got a great deal. But I don't feel like I got gypped or had to pay more than it was worth either. So I like it, and if you like the styling of this watch and are looking for that style of watch and this works for you, then I would say go for it. If you're looking for something different, I wouldn't pick this because it's a better deal or anything like that. It is what it is, and you essentially get what you pay for with this watch. Much like I feel with my Omega Seamaster and my Tudor Pelagus. I got what I paid for those. I got what my watch was worth. Much like I feel the same way with my, Christopher Ward's. This is the same. This watch was worth what I paid for it, and that's that. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Should see a couple more videos coming out this week. If you have any requests, suggestions, comments, please leave them in the comment section below, or send me an email. It is taking me a little while right now to respond to emails, so just a warning there. I'm trying to get caught up on responding to emails this week, but don't hesitate to send it. I will get to it, and hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time.